Two gems from the world of water sports this week. Starting with a brand new event in the Barefoot Water Ski Calendar. The top 8 barefooters from the world gathered in the UK for a big money showdown called Splash of the Titans. Then we're heading to Ireland for part 1 of our report on one of the most popular sailing regattas ever, Ford Cork Week. This is a mega bash, famous for its parties and hospitality, and this year was no exception. First, though, to London and the John Battleday Water Ski Centre, where something extremely unusual is afoot.
It's really an amazing rush.
Speed, an almost unexplainable feeling.
Just an extreme sport, you live it on the edge.
Nothing between you and the water. Rules are really a non-issue.
My feet are cleaner than yours.
Rules are a non-issue. We like that. This is a prototype competition we could be seeing more of. A barefoot knockout showdown in a fast and furious format. Clive Wilsden, the man behind the whole idea, explains.
Concept basically 8 of the best skiers in the world, all current world champions or ex-world champions and record holders, in a head-to-head battle where there's only going to be one winner, and he will walk away with the main prize.
That prize purse totals $10,000, and Clive has flown in those top 8 contenders from all corners of the globe. Let's meet those top barefoot stars now.
We've got great conditions, which always excites skiers because it makes their job easy. And then it's kind of cool because we got this all new format and we're going to get to go out there and have a blast. And it's really the best of the best. I mean, we got 8 guys coming into this and we're all friends and we all compete against each other. So there's not going to be any bloodshed out here, hopefully, but it's going to be a fun rivalry.
The contestants will be combining tricks, then a jump, then tricks, both ways along this course, which is a first and a tall order.
Well, we'll start off a 5-meter high tower, which is pretty extreme, and I'm a little bit worried about that, to be honest.
As you're jumping off, the boat goes and you try and land on your back and then you go wide barefoot.
There's a bunch of tricks before the jump, and basically you need to stand up, they got to be clean, and you got to make it to the jump.
Just the amazing rush you get as you hit that jump. It just launches you up into the air, and you know, it's although you're in the air for about 1 or 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, you know, flying about 25, 26 meters, you launch up there, everything just seems like it's in slow motion and you're flying, and it's, you know, the perspective from up there, seeing the boat and the people and the crowds and the water, and having to pull out of that and ski away is...
It's not difficult to land properly when you take off properly. The whole thing is in the takeoff. When you take off right, you'll ski away no problem. If you take off wrong, you have a struggle. You're fighting to hold on to it. But then after that, it's just packing as many tricks as you can into the end of the run.
And we're only on our feet, so you have to go fast. You don't want to fall, and if you fall, for the crowd, it's good, because it's pretty spectacular.
The crowd's already forming for that spectacle. Barefoot is one of the hardest water sports you can do, and you go so fast that when you do crash, you actually bounce. Trust me, I've tried it.
Any one of us today could come out with a gold.
You cannot really say he's going to win, or it's a matter of who's going to have a good day, because everybody's got the capability of winning.
But it's going to be very hard because we are the 8 best skiers in the world, so everybody's here for gold.
8 best skiers, as Mamo says. We're straight into the knockout rounds. Winners going through to the quarterfinals, and in the commentary box, I'm joined by Clive Wilson, former national champ, and Andy Harris, international barefoot judge. Great to have you with us, gents, for this first round. Should be a fantastic competition.
Yes, indeed, we're looking for some exciting stuff here, especially from this young barefooter from Florida, Keith St. Onge, 23 years old, starting off with some fairly easy tricks for Keith, but edging out for the jump now. Not his speciality. It's not the biggest jump he's ever done, but he's in control, still skiing, and he's going for a line step, which is a very difficult trick. Years and years of practice there, and a 360 on his feet, and finishing with some basic tricks as the boat comes to a stop.
So they turn round at the top of the course for his second pass. 2 passes here. Andy, tell us a little bit about the scoring going on here.
Okay, well, as you can see, the skiers are performing tricks. These tricks come out the World Rule Book. Unfortunately, they're a bit of a fall there for Keith St. Onge. Keith is actually knocking on the door of the current world trick record, and he's in fact the world trick champion. The tricks all have points, and those points then added to the jump distances to give us a score for this event.
Evan Berger up now. He's skiing for Australia, but he's South African by origin, and a great skier as well, Clive.
He is indeed. Formerly South African multiple national champion, and starting off fast and furious, Evan, as ever, and he's got a very unusual style on the jump. Check this one out. Let's go with one hand, pretty much like a hoochie gliding a wakeboard, but
tumble on that landing.
Nasty landing. He won't be pleased with that.
And Andy, I guess he's not going to score anything.
No, the scoring system will work that when he lands a jump, the score is 0, but they do take into consideration the tricks he's scored in the run before the jump.
Very unusual, Clive, to be combining these very quick tricks and then a big jump in the middle of it. It's a great concept.
It is indeed, but you know, it just adds a little bit more excitement to an already very exciting sport. And Evan Berger got to produce a good jump here, and he does so, and that's impressive stuff there from Evan. Guest position ready for a 360 tumble and a 180 tumble turn. A unique trick to barefooting as the boat slows back to the tower.
Just looking at that little roll again, Andy.
Yeah, interesting style. As you can see, his turns, his somersault is actually quite offset rather than the standard in-line jump, and his legs also going out the side a little bit in the jump. And he has a little bit of a problem regaining this, but he does get back up, and I think puts in a couple of tricks at the end there.
Well, it was Keith St. Onge going through to the semi. Now Ron Scarpa. Clive, you call this fella the General. Why is that?
Indeed, this is barefooting's most highly decorated barefoot water skier. 4 world overall titles to his name, and too many other numerous titles to mention. And Ron playing it fairly safe at the moment on his first pass here. Over the jump, fairly smooth landing, and going into a series of much more difficult tricks now. It's a 360, and now he's, well, I suspect he was going for a 540, but lost the handle.
Well, this is the first round and all the quarterfinals, so cruising a little bit there. Ron is very capable, and as you can see, as he's coming in now for his second pass, Clive, probably we're going to see a little bit more from Ron this run.
Yeah, Ron will hopefully aim to pick the pace up a little bit more here. Slow and steady, but he will want to ski this run out with a good score and a good sized jump, which does make a difference. You need a big jump with big tricks to make sure you go through to the next round. And Ron not liking the wake of that boat, but he's going to a somersault, lost his helmet, unfortunately ends the pass there, but he's back to the tower anyway.
Ends the pass. Incredible speeds they're going here, Andy. What kind of speeds the boat's moving at?
The boats are doing about 45 miles per hour. The boat, in fact, is a Mastercraft Beast. That's 8.1 litre V8 engine, about 460 brake horsepower. Here comes Evert Aertsen now, the Flying Dutchman from Holland.
Yeah, Evert, ex-world jump record holder. Some time ago, he's starting off again. These are basic tricks for barefooters, a tumble turn. Evert looks like he's going to rely on this first pass of his on mainly jump. Let's hope it's a big one. It's not as big as he can jump, but he's landed and skied away. Now goes into a series of his speciality tricks, which are his surface turns, but misses the handle. Unlucky there.
That's that one. Evert back onto the jet ski, following them up, just to take him down the end of the course.
Interesting there, Clive, the jump style of Evert. Evert's been jumping a long time. One of the skiers has been skiing the longest in this format, and just couldn't get the timing together there.
No, unfortunately, a little bit unsettled. This event is very new to most of the skiers. But he looks much smooth. He looks much more relaxed. Let's see if that pays off on the jump as he takes off there. Oh, unfortunately not.
Doesn't look too good.
Very, very painful landing indeed there. His leg has pierced the water there at 40 odd mile an hour. Let's hope he's okay. They're tough, these barefooters.
You can see there the leg going straight into the water with his left leg, and looked a little bit pale, yes indeed. That doesn't look too good for Avett.
Avett just going into the short. There's a short side doctor, the lady there to look after him. Definitely something twisted there, I imagine.
Yes, unfortunately it looks the case, but Avett is no stranger to accidents.
Well, I think that's Avett out, and now we've got the Frenchman Patrick Wayner. He's up for his round.
Okay, Patrick Wayner comes across the wake and outside, and he's going into all these are big looking tricks, a toe hold, a 360-degree tumble turn. Oh, and he's got problems there, Clive.
Unlucky there. Patrick, catching a foot as he spun around sideways there. He'll be disappointed with that, but he gets another chance. And he's starting off with tumbles and some surface turns, building up the momentum here. So he's putting some good tricks before the jump. All these tricks will count, and they are added to the jump score for a total pass score. That's a big jump, clean landing. Grabs the handle in readiness for a line step, very big trick, and looks like he's going for a somersault, and he's going to be pleased with that
he's
pass.
Happy with that, punching the air.
Superb second run, superb. Really had it all to do as well after a pretty sad first pass, and really got it back together. Took his time before the jump, but it paid dividends in the end.
Mamo Colosio, the Italian. Very unusual format, this, Clive, with the tricks and the jump all combined in one run.
Yeah, tricks and jump not normally combined together. This is a fairly new event. Just adding a little bit of excitement to an already very exciting and hardcore event.
Well, it is a fantastic Mamo, relying on a massive jump here, lining it up, big time, and there he goes. Whoa, not held onto it. Coming back for his second round in the knockout rounds. He's up against Patrick Wayner from France. Into his tricks already.
And it's Mamo Colosio, the Italian stallion. He's lining up for the ramp. He's a former world jump record holder. He's taking his time. He really needs a big jump. That will make the difference. Over the ramp beautifully, lands beautifully as well. Now we need the tricks. 180 front to the back, and then going for a back to front, but not holding it on. But a good looking jump should give him a reasonable score.
Well, yeah, Mamo, be quite pleased with that. His tricking is not his favourite thing. Jumping's what gets him going. But next on the wall from Belgium, Red Bull's Jan Balian.
And Jan from Belgium, and he's driven across this morning from Belgium through the tunnel, and he's out here on the water at John Battleday Water Ski. Look at these tricks, line step to the back and then to the front, lining up now for the ramp, taking his time. Good looking jump with a good looking landing too. This is Jan Balian, and we've got some tricks coming up. There's a toe hold and a toe turn to the back. Oh, and he's lost it. Lost it on the toe front.
Back for his second pass, Jan Balian. Got his full kit on here. It's not that warm.
Yeah, it is September and it is England, although from Belgium he's not exactly used to tropical climate, so he's gone a bit overboard there with the outfit. But let's hope he goes overboard with the jump distance. Setting up for the jump, and he's gone a little bit, and catching his feet on the
legs
landing
all
there.
over the place there, and a face plant, I think, there, Clive.
Unfortunately, a bit of a brain rattler there for Jan, but...
well, Jan was seeded 8th in this competition, up against David Small, the UK's #1 and the current world champ, I think, Clive.
Indeed, Dave Small, excellent result, fresh back from the World Championships, where he won the jump and the overall, and medals in the other 2 events. 18 years old, Dave. Going from strength to strength, and off the tower he goes. This kid has got what it takes: strength, stamina, passion and skill. Starting off with some basic tricks here for Dave, but going into them pretty quickly. Looking calm and relaxed as he edges out for the jump, and that's a good jump. Big, clean landing. He's a tough kid, Dave, and he's going into a high caliber trick. Toe back, toe front, feet to feet. Line step over to the back and to the front, catching himself to the front there, but he'll be pleased with that run.
Wonderful competitor this, David Small. And Clive, just tell me, why is he so good?
Dave's got a great skiing background. He's been skiing for a considerable time, even though he's 18 years old. I think it's just his passion, though. He's so keen about it. He really wants to win. He does not like coming second. Only a win will do for Dave.
Very clean run here from David Small. Slight blip on the finish there, but that was enough to take him through against Jan Balian. Now we're into the semis. Keith St Onge against Ron Scarpa. Patrick Wayner against David Small.
Well, be interested to see. We've got the two Americans against each other.
And it should be a great semi and a great final in this prototype event, Clive. Very interesting format.
Yes, indeed. It's a little project I've been working on most of the year, combining tricks and jump. Wouldn't have been possible without the sponsors, Options Employment and General Demolition have managed to put together the prize money, which is a total of $10,000. These skiers not normally skiing for this large amount of money, but we're looking to promote and showcase the sport of barefooting, hopefully get this type of event in countries all around the world for larger amounts of money, so these athletes can be rewarded for their efforts in what is a highly skilled and dangerous event.
And Ron Scarpa just showing how good he is there. Very pleased with his first pass in the semi-final, back on the return trip.
Indeed, Ron Scarpa been king of barefooting for years and years, but unfortunately lost his title recently to the British pitbull David Small, and he will be looking to regain his crown here at this extreme barefoot event. He's edging out now for the jump, Ron. Looking for a big jump. It's not bad. Skis away, crosses the wake, bouncing around there, making things not too easy with the toe back, which is a very difficult trick there.
I have to say there, Clive, it quite clearly Ron there, getting used to the format, and much cleaner run, both the first and second passes from Scarpa, really getting it together now.
Keith St Onge on the water, the other American. What kind of talent is this, Clive?
Oh, this kid's unbelievable. I say kid, he's actually in his 20s now. I've known Keith for some time. Unbelievable tricks he can do. Jumping, not his greatest event in this discipline, as you can see from that one, but he gets another go. Andy, take us through Keith's run. What do you think?
Well, yeah, Keith, as you were saying, Clive, his tricks and slalom are really strong. His jumping is, well, it needs a little bit of work, if I may say so. But I'm sure he'll agree with me on that one. But you can see the tricks here, and unfortunately, commentators are Murray Walkered him, I'm afraid, there.
Yeah, he's lost it there on that one, quite early on in this run.
Yeah, unfortunately, Keith coming to grief there on a very difficult trick, but he normally can do that quite competently, but unfortunately looking like the master of disaster in this run.
Patrick Wayner up now. Ron Scarpa did go through to the final, so Patrick Wayner in the second semi.
Okay, and Patrick up and running, up against David Small. Patrick will be looking for a really high-class run here. He's going to need it to beat David, because David will not want to come second. He will not want to be beaten. Patrick edging out to the jump. It's a big jump. Oh, bouncy landing, but he's still in control. Toe back, toe front, feet to feet. High-class tricking. Steps over, and oh, he's come to grief there.
Going there for the 360-degree line step. And unfortunately, as you can see, just catching his leg on the toe line and knocking him off his other foot. Oh, and I think we've got a problem. This doesn't look good for Patrick Wayner.
No, Patrick's...
it's another one. It's another injury. Patrick hobbling off the water.
You can see his knee is heavily strapped. He's already got a present injury on that knee, but that won't bother Dave. Dave's out to kill. He wants that money badly. And at 18 years old, he needs it. Dave's up and running, 360-degree tumble turn. And into a front to back and a back to front. A front toe hold shows his hands clearly for the judge. Edging out for the jump now. Looking comfortable, looking relaxed. Big jump. Ooh, messy landing. But he's determined, Dave.
Held on to it. Held on to it.
That's Dave all over. He won't let go unless that handle's ripped out of his hand.
And held on to that one as well.
Still not giving up the chase. And the boat's slowing down, and Dave manages to stick in a line back, line front.
Well, extraordinary run there.
Amazing stuff.
He was definitely under pressure, though.
Great run from Patrick earlier, wasn't it?
Was a great run. It's a shame about that injury. I don't know what that's going to mean for
Well,
Patrick, but Dave's coming through now, Clive.
Dave won't be aware of Patrick's injury, and oh dear, looks
Early
like
fall.
he's joining Patrick on the bank.
What happened here? Just
He
Lost
just
his balance.
yeah.
lost his balance, caught the foot sideways, a painful landing.
Well, that was Patrick hobbling off again. We caught up with him. He's out of the competition just to find out what happened there.
I had a bad fall on my last trick, but I had a decent jump, and so on the last trick I turned and my foot caught sideways. I pulled the knee a little bit, and unfortunately I couldn't keep on skiing for the final round.
Well, most unfortunate because Patrick actually scored more points than David. But David has to go through up against Ron the General Scarpa. Should be a cracking final, this one, fellas.
Well, Dave must be thinking himself very lucky at this stage, capitalising on Patrick's unfortunate coming to grief there. And looks like Ron's elected Dave to go first, and off he goes. Let's see what Dave can do on this first pass of the finals. And he's off into a 360 tumble turn, a front to back, back to front toe hold. Not going too wild at the moment. He will want to land a jump and post a really good score. It's a big jump, and he gains control real quickly. He's got to get moving because Scarpa's going to be breathing fire all over him when Ron comes off that tower.
It's clean but cautious, I'd say.
Oh, he's come to grief. Dave again takes the handle, tries a line step, ends his run there.
Not a huge scoring round, Andy.
It's incredible. We've got the trainer versus the trainee, the Raging Bull versus the Pit Bull. Great Britain v the US. I mean, Dave has taken Ron Scarpa's world crown from him, and he really is, as you can see there, really trying to pull it out of the hat. He's coming in for his second run now. He needs to do a little bit better and clean a few of those tricks up. There's a front to back and a back to front, and another back to front with a reverse front to back. And now we're coming in now. He's got time for a toe hold. Now he's going to line up. Now this jump really does need to be big. Oh, it's huge, it's huge. He's landed it beautifully. He's outside that wake. And now we're going into a line step. Oh, and he's lost it there, but it was a great run. Really had it together there.
Indeed, very impressive run from Dave. Ron will be pretty aware of what Dave's up to as the boat comes back towards Ron, who will be at the top of the tower now. And he'll be impressed with this run, but looking to beat Dave.
Now, Ron Scarpa, the American, needs to beat David Small on the final pass to win this event.
Okay, and Ron Scarpa's off for the tower start and edging out from the wake of the Mastercraft Beast. He's up on his feet, straight into a tumble turn, real fast from Ron there. Taking his time now for a front to back and back to front, straight into a toe hold, shows them hands clearly, and edging out for the jump. He'll need a fair-sized jump here, Ron, to beat Dave, and that looks good.
Oh, he's
that
lost it,
looks
though.
bad. And Ron will not be pleased with that. He's left it now to the final pass of the day to pick up the lion's share of the $10,000 cash
That
prize.
was a huge jump. I don't understand. He seemed to land it, and then he just lost the handle.
Yeah, indeed. Ron won't be happy if he gets a speedy delivery to the other end of the lake.
Now, this is pressure, isn't it, fellas?
Indeed. Last pass of the day. It's all down to this run. Ron's got to beat Dave with everything in this pass. Let's see what he throws at him. 2 tumble turns. Bounces back up on his feet there. Front to back. And what's he going for now? Oh, he's going for a back toe. Very tricky with this kind of handle in these conditions. Back to front toe. He's really chucking them in here, Ron. Edging out to the jump. Lining up. Oh, he's in a mess, but he's hung on. Kept it together. What's he up to now? A line step. Straight out the back. Is it going to be enough?
So close, this one, Andy.
He looks like he's got a smile on his face as he landed the jump, and then he went into those last 2 tricks, and I think he realised then he may have done it. And the scores come through. It looks like Ron Scarpa has, in fact, this time he's beaten his pupil.
Well, Ron will be pleased with that. Getting back his crown from David after being beaten by Dave at the World Championships last month. And he'll be happy as well with the paydays. He's flown a long way from Florida to be here.
Well, Ron, the General Scarpa, congratulations there from Dave's parents. Let's catch up with Ron now.
Dave's obviously awesome skier. Patrick even surprised me because Patrick hasn't been jumping, great, but unfortunately his leg gave out. I mean, it got interesting there at the end, and I felt good. I mean, at first it felt strange, new boat, new site, different ramps, but just kind of I got a little more comfortable, got in the flow, and I mean, you could hear the crowd going and everything. It was awesome. It was a really good time.
He's unbeatable, isn't he? He's just so experienced, it's untrue. He's always consistent. Just didn't ski to my best. It's no problem. Still have fun.
Wonderful sportsmanship from all these guys. Ron Scarpa accepts the trophy from Options Employment Chief George McLean, who with General Demolition sponsored this superb event.
When I first met Clive a year ago, he wanted to help the sport develop by introducing a wow factor. And what he wanted was people to come along to watch this and go away feeling that they'd been entertained and not just watched what have hitherto been called dull professional skiing events. I was keen on that. My requirements were that it be professional and safe. I think we've seen the 8 best in the world today competing professionally and safely, even though there have been a couple of injuries. This is a dangerous sport, and I've walked up and down the riverbank and I've heard plenty of people say wow. So for us it's been a success. We've had good exposure and it's been a good day. The weather's been good, people have enjoyed themselves, so it's been first class.
First class indeed. A few knocks, but they survived. And a great first event. We'll be bringing you more wow factor soon from these brilliant barefooters.